to the next President of the United States, Rick Santorum.
Family, and we're not going to sing, but it's great to be here at CPAC. Another thing, I will not be telling any jokes. I think Foster cornered the market on that. But thank you so much for that wonderful reception for not just me, but for most of my family that is here. First, the folks that are walking with me today and walking this journey with me are here with me today because this is who I am. And they are here with me. I want to introduce, most of you probably have seen them before, but this is my wife Karen, the rock of which I stand upon. Sarah Maria, Patrick, Daniel, Elizabeth, Peter, and John. And the one that is not here with us, but is home and recuperating just well and doing amazingly well, thanks to all of your prayers, our little girl Bella. I came here right after the 2008 election. I've been coming to a lot of CPAC conventions over the years. And after that election, I made this statement. I said, conservatism did not fail our country. Conservatives failed conservatism. And that's what I really believed then, and that we, in fact, lost heart. As conservatives, we lost heart. We listened to the voices who said that we had to abandon our principles and our values to get things done, to win. And we hear those same voices today, that we have to learn our lesson, that we should that we need to compromise, do what's politically reasonable, and go out and push someone forward who can win. Well, I think we have learned our lesson. And the lesson we've learned is that we will no longer abandon and apologize for the policies and principles that made this country great for a hollow victory in their head. Thing we should recognize as conservatives and Tea Party folks, that we are not just wings of the Republican Party, we are the Republican Party. Folks, I've been here before. We know each other. We've worked together in the vineyards. We've taken on the tough battles that confront this country. I know you, and you know me. And that's important. Because we've worked together. Some say experience is a bad thing in this election. I don't think so. I think knowing the people who are the conservative leaders, knowing the people who have worked in the vineyards for decades, knowing the people who bring the ideas and the breadth and the wellspring of ideas to conservatism is important. Because as Richard Viguerie often says, policies are personnel. Personnel is what makes it. Knowing the people to bring and surround yourself with. Those voices that we've listened to in the past were all people that we brought in who told us, well, no, we can't stand by those principles. Ladies and gentlemen, as President of the United States, we will surround ourselves in this administration with people who share our values, who are committed to the principles that made this country great. Leaders of the conservative movement. we know there's a lot of excitement here because this election is about very, very big things. This is not just about jobs, although it is about jobs. And we obviously need to do something about jobs in this country, and we put forward an economic plan that the Wall Street Journal calls supply-side economics for the working man. Why? Because we care to make sure that every American has the opportunity to rise, that the ladder goes down, not just to those who might be voting for us, but yes, the very poor, the people in this country who have been suffering and left behind. We want to create an opportunity for all of them, blue-collar Americans, the working poor, to rise in society. And we put together a plan that reinvigorates the manufacturing base of our economy, that creates opportunities for people to be able to rise again in America. And that's important. It's important that we tackle this huge, monstrous debt that we have in our country. A debt that is crushing America and our children. An enormous debt. And I put forward another plan that says we're going to cut $5 trillion in 5 years, balance the budget in 5 years, and in every year we will spend less money than the year before, year after year after year, until the budget is balanced. Furthermore, cuts in the rate of growth. We know it's about big things, though. Really big things. More than just, well, the economy. It's about foundational principles, and we've seen that played out here just in the last few weeks. Every speech I've given, from the 381 town hall meetings I did in Iowa, I talked about founding principles. This campaign is going to be about a vision. This campaign is going to be about who we are as Americans, because in essence, that's what's at stake. This is the most important election in your lifetime. It's an election about what kind of country you're going to leave to the next generation. Are we going to be a country that believes, as our founders did, that our rights don't come from the government, they come from a much higher authority? Well, there are those in our country and those